West Ham bottom, what, a fortnight back, now into 12th. That's much more respectable. That's what we expect. Manchester United slip from 7th on the goals conceded today into 8th. It's good afternoon for Bournemouth so far. Still to come.
Second half from Manchester United, I think once they changed the system, went to a back four, they kind of looked like they kind of knew what they were doing. There was a bit more cohesion about them, and players sort of knew their jobs, and then they got back into it. And then they went and conceded the third, and then you felt that was it, really. It was a decent performance by West Ham, must say. Improved from how they started the season. But I was just listening to what you were saying about Mourinho. I always think it runs a similar script, the sacking of a manager. You look back, you always run a certain way, don't they? And I just think it's going to be very interesting to see his excuse today. And I think, as I said before, I think he's fell out with Woodward. I think he's fell out with half the dressing room. I think his excuses are becoming tiresome. And he's looking for allies, and he felt the crowd would be his ally. But after seeing the performances recently,
after nearly 20 years of domination under the likes of Paisley and Fagan, Liverpool, the wheels came off at Anfield, and they haven't yet been put back on. 28 years now. Do you see similarities between what happened at Liverpool and what's happening at Manchester United post Fergie?
When would you say would be the Liverpool when Kenny went?
Yeah, probably.
Graham.
In fairness, when Kenny went,
it went a little bit downhill with Graham, didn't he? Because he tried to change a lot and get the old school players out.
Well, it went horribly wrong, didn't it? Because he made a mess of it.
Yeah, he did make a mess of it. Yeah, because he tried to change too much, didn't he? Maybe a bit like David Moyes, you could say. Maybe tried to change too much.
Well, I don't think David changed anything, did he? He brought Marouane Fellaini, and in the January he bought Juan Mata. Well, and ironically, this Manchester United team rely on Fellaini now as much as anybody else.
Yeah, but they changed the way they played, didn't they, under Alex, which was so expansive, and it was great football like they used to play, and that never die attitude. That kind of did go under David Moyes. He'd become a little bit...
But you get the impression there is no long-term or wasn't long-term plan to succeed Fergie, don't you?
Where Liverpool fell behind was they in the commercial side of things. I mean, we were talking about it the other day. When I was there must have been 50 people waiting in the office, which was at Anfield. Now they've got their own offices in town with about 850 people working for them. And like you mentioned at the top of the show, the partnership, the financial side of things, they were always playing catch-up with Chelsea and Manchester United. And I think that's where they fell behind financially and couldn't then
Well, aren't United now playing catch-up with Chelsea?
Yes.
Liverpool. Tottenham to a large degree.
Are they playing catch up financially? Probably not.
No.
They could go bat for anybody, yeah?
Yeah, they could do, yeah.
If they want a player, they can go and get him. No.
Financially, yes.
Financially is what I'm saying. So they're batting in the same level as everyone else. Yeah. They're on the same board. Yeah. Where they've fallen behind is on the football pitch. Dramatically, Richard. Dramatically. You know, 750 million should not have you scrambling about mid-table.
89 of it on a player that didn't finish the game today.
Well, and again, if everything's right, you don't take off one of your allegedly your best player when you're chasing a game. Would Spurs take off Harry Kane if they were 2-0 down in a football match? No. Would Chelsea take off Eden Hazard if they were 2-0 down in a football match? No. Would Manchester City take off David Silva?
Probably.
No.
They could take anybody off.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Do you know, if somebody like that, if he was fit and playing and they were chasing a football match? No. So there's every day that goes by, this adds to the problems, this does. They must be sitting there thinking, United fans, hold on a minute, what? 90 million, our best player supposedly, and we're 2-0 down and they're taking him off.
But nearly worked, because that goal there should have sparked a comeback, shouldn't it?
Well,
and that was seconds after Pogba had left the pitch.
Yes, it was. I mean, it's a really poor corner, and Marcus Rashford, to be fair to him, makes something of it. I mean, we talked how good Fabianski's save was from the header from Fellaini. That one, he let himself down a little bit. I think he should have got there. You could see the ball was flat and it was way. So I'm asking you, you think he's trying to make a point?
He's still trying to make that point.
But who bought?
You didn't give me the money to go and buy a centre
back.
Who
bought Lindelof and Bailly?
He did.
Yeah, of course he did.
So if you're Ed Woodward, you might just be thinking, well, hang on, you've had two, and
but we're talking about
you
that
don't fancy them.
The statement with Pogba is he's basically said, right, I think he said, I'm going to start this formation three at the back. I'm going to give Pogba the free role that he craves, that he wants to do. You go ahead and play, and you go and do it. They've gone in 2-0 down, and basically said, I'll give you the opportunity. You didn't take it. So then he's come out second half, he's given an extra 10 or 15 minutes, and then he's dragged him, as if to say to the crowd, well, I can't give him any more time, he just didn't do it for me.
Unsubstantiated, but I can tell you that sources close to beIN Sports are suggesting that Manchester United have had initial conversations with Zinedine Zidane. Okay. Now, that would make sense, would it not?
Yeah. I mean, I think
if they were to progress that conversation,
I think there
if
are
this
few
keeps
options.
happening, would there be an option to make a change in the second international
I don't
break?
think they can allow this to keep happening. I mean, I really don't. I mean, I've watched United all season. I've seen every one of their games, and I can't remember a game where I thought, you might correct me, Jason, if you can think of one. I can't think of a game where I thought, wow, they didn't have to play well. I think they had 20 minutes against
it's
Tottenham.
Little bits, isn't it?
They had 20 minutes against Tottenham, first
bits.
20 minutes, and then got battered 3-0 at home. So I can't think of a game where I've sat after it and went, whoa, you know what, that was a bit more like old United.
Well, the one you brought up before where they come back from 2-0 to City.
Last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not this season.
Not this
Talking
season.
This season. Nothing. I've seen nothing this season.
Because it started in pre-season. It started in pre-season. You know, Mourinho the way he was. And I got to be funny, I'm not being funny, if you're a player in that environment, it's like you go on a training pitch, you're thinking, oh, I just can't be bothered.
Well, he annoyed Martial, didn't he? You fined him for not flying back after the birth of a child.
That's not how you deal with players. You know, there's got to be a certain man, and he's supposed to be a great man manager.
I know. That's what I get. That's what I don't get, Jason. And everybody you talk to who worked with him at Chelsea,
they love him.
Would have ran through brick walls for him.
Would you like to play for him?
For Chelsea, I would have done, but I look at it now and just think, oh, that'd be the worst manager to play for. He sulks. I like. Do you know what? I like Mourinho. I liked him. I liked him. And I just think he's become stale. And this has got personal with Pogba, and I think it's rubbing off on all the other players. He's fell out with Woodward. He fell out with everyone.
On Keys and Gray last night, Gary Bailey called him a dinosaur.
No, I don't
just
know.
said he's become stale. No, is he in the wrong era?
No, Richard, that's unfair because this man has got success written all over him.
He has had success.
He's got success. Well,
you've got to earn that success.
He won the title with Chelsea, what, 4 years ago? 5 years ago? Yeah. And he's won FA Cup since then. He's won a Europa League since then, a League Cup since then. You know, no, I think it's too easy to say that about Jose. Because he manages differently from Pep and from Jurgen. He's an easy target, and they're not playing well. Now, there are fundamental things wrong at Manchester United, from top to bottom right now, right, that they need to sort out. And whether it's a new coach, whether it's a shake-up of the playing staff, but they've already spent $750 million since Fergie left, shaking up the playing staff, and this is where they are. It doesn't look a happy place to me.
I said it runs a script with the second of a manager, and this is running the same script. In that script.
If he changes it, Ed Woodward's only got one last throw of the dice, surely.
I would agree with you. Yeah. He's had 3 goes.
And he's got to get it right. Be interesting to see if they do sack him.
I think, and for the fans' point of view, there's only 1 or 2 names that I could think of where the fans would accept instead of Jose. You know, it's all right saying get rid, but if you can't get Zidane, let's say, I don't want to talk about people who are in jobs, I shouldn't, but the likes of Pochettino, if they could attract him out of Tottenham, right? Pochettino, I don't know Deschamps. I don't think Deschamps fits what they want.
Deschamps
I think he's a pragmatic manager as well.
He?
I think he's a pragmatic manager as well, though. And I think what he's done with France has been fantastic, but I don't know if he fits United for me. I think
you
Pochettino...
say glamour, you need that's such a glamour.
Somebody who's open.
Plays nice,
plays
back to the brand of what we're accustomed
almost,
to.
yeah. I know it's difficult to follow Fergie and do that, but you need somebody who will try and do it. It doesn't look that Jose's trying to do it, is it? It looks like he still wants to win games his way. 1-0, 2-1.
Having seen that today, Andy, it doesn't look like anybody's trying. Certainly not in United jersey. We're with Manchester City next. That's where Matt Critchley is.